Welcome, Chosen One. You didn't arrive here by accident. You were meant to hear this, to awaken to the truth of who you are and what you're here to do. This is not just another day, another message. This is a turning point. Imagine a mighty storm rolling across the land, tearing apart everything weak, everything unsteady. That storm is you and the world. It's filled with structures built on lies, manipulation, and control. They think their walls can withstand you. They think their towers are too tall to fall. But deep down, they know the truth. The chosen are coming. You are not like them. You don't blend into the shadows or bow to their rules. You see beyond the surface, beyond the masks. While they cling to control, you rise in purpose. While they build on fear, you move in truth. This is your journey, a journey of exposing, dismantling, and transforming. Of turning weakness into power and breaking free from the chains they swore could never be broken. This is where it begins. Will you rise to the challenge, or will you remain silent? The time has come to claim your place. Let's begin. You were chosen to break the chains. Do you feel it? That burning in your chest, the weight pressing down on your shoulders? That's not failure. It's not weakness. It's the call, the unmistakable pull of destiny. You were chosen to see what others cannot. You were chosen to rise where others fall. They don't want you to know this. They have spent lifetimes building structures to control you, systems to manipulate you. They need you blind, compliant, docile, because without your obedience, their power crumbles. Without your silence, their lies are exposed. But you are not like them. You are not one of the sheep who graze in the fields of ignorance. You are a lion prowling, watching, waiting. They fear you, not because of your strength, but because of your vision. Because you can see through the walls they've built, the games they play, the chains they try to wrap around your mind. Feel that tension in the air? That's the moment they're most terrified of, the moment you stand and declare, no more. The structures they've built depend on fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of stepping out of line. But you were not born to be afraid. You were born to break the chains. Picture this. A tower built on lies, its foundations cracking. Every question you ask, every truth you uncover weakens it. Each step you take as a chosen one sends shockwaves through their fragile empire. They scramble to hold it together, but deep down, they know the truth. They cannot control you. The chosen don't wait for permission. The chosen don't play by the rules of they. The chosen expose, they destabilize, they destroy what was never meant to stand. This is where you begin, by seeing the structures for what they are, prisons, not protections, by realizing that your voice, your strength, your defiance are the keys to their collapse. They will try to silence you, they will try to turn others against you, but remember this. Their power is an illusion, and you are the reality they fear. So what will you do? Will you stand with the chosen or stay in the shadows they've created for you? The choice is yours, seeing the puppets and cutting the strings. Look closely. Do you see it now? The puppets on the stage, dancing to a tune they didn't choose, controlled by strings they pretend don't exist. Their every move, every word, dictated by unseen hands. That's the world they have built, a world of control disguised as order. But you see the strings. You see how they pull at people's fears, their insecurities, their desire to fit in. They thrive on your doubt. They tell you, stay in your place. They whisper, you'll never be enough. Lies, every word they speak is a chain, every rule they set a leash. And here's the truth they will never admit. The strings are fragile. One cut, one act of defiance, and their perfect show begins to collapse. This is your power as one of the chosen. To see the puppets, yes, but more importantly, to see the puppeteers, to expose the hands that control and the lies that sustain them. They call it stability. You know it's manipulation. They call it progress. You see it's just control repackaged to look new, their greatest fear, that you'll stop playing along. That you'll tear the mask off their so-called leaders, the polished faces they hide behind. Do you feel that tension rising? That's because you've already begun. The moment you started to question, you pulled at their strings. The moment you refused to comply, their grip weakened, and they hate you for it. Good, let them. Because you were not chosen to be liked, you were chosen to be free. Picture a web, intricate and sprawling, spun to trap the weak. But what happens when a flame touches it? It burns, rapidly, uncontrollably. That's what you are, a flame in their darkness, the fire they can't extinguish. So ask yourself, will you let the puppets dictate your life? Will you allow the strings to bind your purpose, or will you be the one to set the stage ablaze, to burn away the lies and free those still trapped? This is your moment. The stage is crumbling, the strings are fraying, and the puppeteers are trembling. You have the power to pull it all down, but only if you dare to act, breaking the foundations of their power. The foundations they swore were unshakable, the structures they said would stand forever. Cracks are forming. With every question you ask, every truth you uncover, their world becomes less stable. They built their power on a lie, the lie that they are untouchable. They told you their systems were eternal, their rules unbreakable. But the chosen ones see what others cannot. You see the rot beneath the surface, the weakness behind the strength they parade. Their power depends on your belief in their authority, belief in their superiority. But the moment you stop believing, their empire begins to crumble. This is the secret they hope you never discover. Their strength is borrowed, their control is fragile, and the chosen are the ones who shatter illusions and expose the truth. You are the earthquake that shakes their foundations, the storm that dismantles their structures. They thrive on fear, but you are driven by purpose, and purpose is a force they cannot control. Do you see how their towers lean now? How their once mighty walls begin to crumble? That's your work, that's your strength. And as the chosen, you do not stop. You push harder, you expose more. You become the force they cannot withstand. They will call you dangerous. They will say you are tearing things down. Good, because not everything is meant to stand. What was built on control and manipulation deserves to fall. And you, chosen one, are the catalyst for their collapse. So the question is not whether the foundations will break. The question is how far you will go. Will you strike once and retreat? Or will you keep pushing until there's nothing left of their false empires? This is your mission, to shake their foundations, to break their power, to replace their lies with truth, the fear that controls them. Do you know what drives them? It's not strength, it's not courage, it's fear. Fear of you, fear of what you can see, fear of what you can do. Every law they pass, every rule they enforce, every barrier they erect, it's all a desperate attempt to contain the chosen. They know their power is an illusion. They know their systems are weak. That's why they surround themselves with layers of protection, lies, distractions, propaganda. They want you to believe they are invincible, untouchable, but deep down, they tremble. They fear your awakening. Imagine a predator cornered, baring its teeth not out of confidence, but out of desperation. That is who they are. They cling to control because they know what happens when the chosen rise. They know the chosen see through their facades, and worse, they know the chosen act. They thrive on keeping you small. They feed you doubts, whisper lies, tell you you're not strong enough. But every whisper of doubt, every attempt to belittle you, reveals their own insecurity. They fear what you are capable of. They fear the fire within you. Here's the truth. The chosen are their greatest nightmare. Because the chosen are unpredictable. The chosen cannot be controlled. And most of all, the chosen remind everyone else that freedom is possible. They fear your courage because it is contagious. One chosen person stands and others follow. One voice speaks and a chorus rises. This is what keeps them awake at night. Not the walls they've built, but the cracks you've made in them. So, what do you do with their fear? You use it. Every time they lash out, every time they try to silence you, it's proof you're winning, proof that their control is slipping. Your rise terrifies them because it signals the end of their reign. The chosen do not cower in the face of fear. The chosen turn fear into fuel. So stand taller, push harder, speak louder. Their fear is your victory, turning pain into power. What have they taken from you? They've stolen your time, your peace, your dreams. They built a system that feeds on your pain. They want you broken, exhausted, defeated. But here's the secret they don't want you to know. Pain is not the end. For the chosen, pain is power. The struggles you've endured, the betrayals you've faced, the nights you've spent wondering if you'd ever rise again. That pain wasn't meant to destroy you. It was meant to shape you, to forge you into something unbreakable. The chosen are not victims of pain, they are its masters. They fear what happens when you stop seeing pain as a punishment and start seeing it as a weapon, because pain has taught you lessons they can never learn. It has given you strength they cannot match. Pain has made you resilient, and resilience is their greatest enemy. Think of a blade forged in fire. It begins as raw, shapeless metal. But under heat, pressure, and time, it becomes a weapon, sharp and unstoppable. That's what pain does to the chosen. It refines you, owns you, makes you a force they cannot withstand. They use pain to control others. They spread fear of discomfort, fear of hardship, fear of failure. But the chosen do not fear pain. You embrace it. You let it teach you, strengthen you, prepare you. And when the time comes, you wield it like the weapon it is. Look at the cracks in their systems, the fractures in their walls. What created those cracks? The pressure of people like you refusing to be broken. Each time you rose after falling, you weakened their grip. Each time you turned pain into purpose, you became a living testament to their failure. They will tell you to stay down. They'll tell you it's easier to give up, to accept defeat. Lies. They know that every time you rise, you grow stronger. Every time you refuse to quit, their power diminishes. So here's your choice. Will you let pain define you, or will you define it? The chosen do not run from the fire. They walk through it, emerging stronger, sharper, and unstoppable. This is your moment. Take the pain they gave you and turn it into the power they fear most, the collapse of their control. This is the moment they've feared all along, the moment the chosen ones rise and refuse to play their game. They built their control on lies, lies that told you were powerless, that you needed them, that their rules were your only option. But control built on lies is fragile. It cannot stand against truth. And the chosen carry truth like a weapon, sharp and unyielding. Picture their empires, towers of deceit, reaching high but hollow within. Their strength depends on shadows, on keeping you in the dark. But you, the chosen, are the light they cannot escape. Every question you ask, every truth you uncover, shines a light into their darkness, exposing the cracks in their power. Feel their panic. With every step you take, they scramble to regain control. They tighten their grip, but it's too late. The more they push, the more their systems falter. They cannot contain the chosen. You are too many, too strong, too awake. They will call it chaos. They will say you're destroying what keeps the world stable. But you know better. Their so-called stability is built on your silence. Their order is sustained by your submission. When the chosen rise, it is not chaos, it is justice. Look around you. The cracks in their walls are everywhere. Their voices grow louder, more desperate. Their lies grow bolder, more transparent. They are afraid, and they should be. The chosen cannot be controlled. The chosen cannot be silenced, and the chosen do not stop. So what happens now? You keep moving. You keep speaking, you keep exposing the truths they tried to bury. The more they fight, the clearer it becomes. Their power was never real. This is your time. the time to bring down their empires of control and manipulation, to replace their lies with truth, to show the world what happens when the chosen rise, the legacy of the chosen. What will you leave behind? This is the question that separates the chosen from the rest. While they build legacies of control, greed, and fear, the chosen leave something far greater: freedom, truth, and transformation. They cling to their power, desperate to be remembered as rulers, as architects of order. But deep down, even they know the truth. Their structures are temporary. Their control will fade. Their names will be forgotten. Because what they built was never real. It was never meant to last. But you, the chosen, you were not meant to fade. Your legacy is not written in the sand of their false empires. It's carved into the hearts of those you've freed, the minds you've awakened, the systems you've shattered. Imagine a wildfire, unstoppable and transformative. It burns away the old, the decayed, the lifeless. And in its place, new life emerges, stronger, freer, more vibrant. That's your legacy, not the ashes of destruction, but the rebirth that follows. They will try to erase you. They will call you dangerous, rebellious, a destroyer. But the chosen wear those names as badges of honor, because the chosen know this: you cannot destroy what was never real. What you are tearing down was built to oppress, to manipulate, to control. And what you leave behind is the truth, a foundation for something greater. Think about the people watching you, the ones still trapped in the illusions they created. Every step you take, every wall you break, shows them it's possible. You are the proof that freedom is not a dream. You are the spark that ignites others to rise. They hate this. They want their control to be the final chapter. But your story is different. Your story is endless. Because when the chosen rise, the ripple effects cannot be contained. The truths you reveal will outlast their lies. The freedom you fight for will outlive their oppression. So, I ask you, what will your legacy be? Will you let them dictate the story of your life, or will you write your own? The chosen do not wait for permission. They do not bow to fear. They move forward, leaving behind a path others can follow. This is your legacy: to expose the false and build the real, to tear down their illusions and replace them with something lasting. And it begins with you. This is your moment. No more waiting, no more silence, no more playing by the rules of those who fear you. You are chosen, and the time to act is now. They will try to stop you, but they cannot. Their walls are crumbling, their masks are slipping, and their lies are unraveling. Because of you, because you dared to see, because you refused to conform, because you decided to rise. The chosen do not ask for permission. The chosen do not fear resistance. You are here to expose, to disrupt, to dismantle. You are here to build something stronger, something truer, something they cannot control. This is your calling: to bring down their illusions, to tear apart their systems, and to stand in the light of your truth. Do not falter. Do not hesitate. The chosen are unstoppable, and you, yes, you are the proof. So rise, claim your place. The world is watching, and the time is now. Before you go, remember this: you are part of something bigger. If this message lit a fire within you, don't let it end here. Hit that subscribe button and like this video to join a community of the chosen, those who see, those who rise, those who act. Together, we will keep exposing the lies and building the truth. Thank you for being here, for listening, and for stepping into your power. You are stronger than they can imagine and destined for more than they can comprehend. Stay bold, stay fearless, and never forget, you are chosen. See you in the next message. Stay unstoppable.